What kind of flashlight do you have in your house? That seems like a crazy question, but it's no secret that I think illumination is one of the most powerful self-defense tools, and everybody like pays a lot of attention to what their everyday carry flashlight is going to be, but people think of home defense as an afterthought when it comes to self-defense. And now that we're stuck home, I'm thinking about like, what's the right light for my house? Most people have little hardware store checkout aisle bullshit in their house. When you're trying to illuminate like an entire house or maybe an entire yard, or you're searching the woods for your dog or whatever, stealth and size and light discipline don't matter much. You can get the biggest freaking light that you can carry. The Olight Warrior X has 2,250 lumens and 600 meters of throw. By comparison, the Olight M2R Pro Warrior, which I think is like one of the best duty style flashlights, has 1,800 lumens and 300 meters of throw. Now, Olight sent us the Warrior X to test and review. If you use my discount code H2H, you get 10% off anything from Olight. I'll put a link down in the description below. But also, on Friday, April 10th, they're doing a charity sale where 100% of the proceeds are going to give medical supplies to hospitals in the United States. And as of the time this video was made, you could still get for free a 15 pack of surgical masks. You can just add it to your cart for free. Olight will send that to you with your order. And Olight has even offered to send supplies to the hospital where my wife works. So please go check out that charity sale. I'll put a link in the description below. Olight knows how to do packaging. They package these things up like swanky, like an iPhone. That is a big bone honking light. The Warrior X is a pretty hefty little thing. It's got the, crenellated strike bezel, which is a fancy way of saying teeth. I kind of like this one. It's not just jagged and sharp for the sake of like looking extra tactical and just being mostly useful for snagging on shit. All this needs to do is concentrate the force of a hammer strike into a smaller area to do more damage to a person or make it easier to break shit. These are plenty big enough for that. Now, it also has this guy, this little thing. I don't know what this is called. With this thing, that thing's going nowhere. Once you put this in your grip, between this big bulbous-headed bezel on it and this thing here, that thing is going nowhere, man, no matter which way you swing it or what happens. And also, I don't do this. I'm not familiar with this technique. But some people teach, when you are using it in conjunction with a pistol, you can like keep everything like oriented. I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know the proper way to orient like this. I always held like this. No, I don't hold like way out here so that like the bad guy is shooting right at the light and it hits out here. Like, that's not a real thing. As far as carrying this, I don't think I would ever use this huge case. Like, maybe on a duty belt, but never just on your regular belt, Dad. Don't do that. It has a pocket clip, but I don't know that something this big I would ever carry around in my pocket. That's not exactly discreet. To me, something of this size with this output's not like for carry, but if you were gonna carry it, you might could carry it like if you're doing some like real work, like work, carry it on something like this. Like, now I think that the Olight M2R Pro Warrior is like the best duty light for security personnel or law enforcement, anything like that. But this, you could probably carry this like, I don't really believe in retention. Like, people always pick on me because I always keep most stuff open top. But like, when you put this stuff in here, it's not really going anywhere. And I'd much rather be able to get to it quickly than the small chance that something falls out. I'd probably keep it in something like this. This isn't going anywhere on accident, but if I pull on it on purpose, it's gonna come out. The M2R Pro and the Warrior X are obviously related. You can tell that by looking at them. But the Warrior X is a little bit bigger. It's got a bigger head on it, which you can see when you dock them together like that. But the throw this is rated at 2250. Looks like that against a wall, and now it's going to look messed up on camera. It never really does justice. This is at 1800. Looks like that against the wall. And you can see not only is this brighter, but that it's more focused. This Warrior X puts out a lot more light and has double the throw. So I think it's going to be like really bright indoors, but I think the big difference in it is going to be how it performs outdoors, like checking out your yard or, in the woods or stuff like that. And that's not like always the ultimate thing. Like, when we did the review on the M2R Pro Warrior, it's about how having like too bright a flashlight for like defensive or tactical uses can be a bad thing. So we've done this before. We've tested a lot of flashlights on this channel. The thing about testing flashlights on camera is what you see in the video isn't what I'm actually seeing in real life. So I'm gonna do my best to explain, you know, how useful or how bright I think it is, but like what you're seeing is not what I'm getting. This is max output from the M2R Pro Warrior at 1800 lumens, what it calls turbo mode. This is the Warrior X at 2250, and you can see that, you know, not only is that center spot brighter, it's a little more compact to beam. So I think at greater distances, this is gonna hold together longer than this one. This momentary on is like ideal for like looking up close at things. And it even works pretty well kind of far away. Like, I've searched a lot of woods for a lot of people with a lot of different flashlights. And this is pretty good, but this is crazy bright. This is like floodlight. Like, you used to have to carry around those big, huge, like suitcase handle floodlights that had big, humongous square batteries in them to get light, like, and it still wasn't like this. This is nuts. Up close, this is too bright. This is blinding me to look at. When I cut it off, my night vision is gone. But this right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can see the 4th power line. That's crazy. And I'm not easily impressed by flashlights. Like, I've reviewed a lot of flashlights, you know, this isn't even the brightest one that I've ever used, but as far as being the brightest with these features that I like. Oh, this thing, it vibrates when the battery's low. It vibrates, it gives you a little, that's awesome. I think like shining it in my eyes is sort of a formality, like we know what's gonna happen, but like I'll do it. Shine this flashlight in my eyes. Not yet, not yet. All right, now push it all the way down. Yeah, I can't, keep it on me. Now cut it off. There, then I just adjusted. Even I wanna do one without the porch light on. So this is dark, no porch light, just moonlight. Yeah. Like full output. I'll push it all the way. Now turn it off. Wow. Still can't see you. Now I can see you. That's crazy. Let me hand you my stinger and you get me with this one. All right, same thing, go. Yeah, not even close, right? So this stinger comparison might not seem fair. I mean, this is a 10-year-old flashlight, but it's the flashlight that I'm currently using for the purpose that the Warrior X is going to be used for. And you can see it totally like dwarfs it. You know, and I know it's not necessarily apples to apples, but I figured since I currently use this flashlight and some people might already be familiar with it, I thought it'd be a good comparison. So after playing with flashlights all night like a dork, this light is pretty dope. I probably still wouldn't carry this or put this on a vest or loadout. I would recommend the M2R Pro Warrior for that. That's what's currently in my vest, or if I would still wear a duty belt, this is what would be on my duty belt. But this was previously next to the bed, and now this is replacing it. It's just a good light, and especially if your job involves like searching for people, like if you ever have to look for people, either to help them or do the opposite of help them, this, I think, is like the ideal light for that sort of job. Or really anything where you just need a shit ton of light thrown in a specific direction. And I like all the features it has, like even the charging, which if you don't understand Olight charging, to understand Olight charging, you have to understand that Olight is crazy about magnets. They love magnets over there. Like the case, magnet. The box the lights come in, magnet. The charging system, guess what? Magnet. It just does that. That's all it does. That's how you know it's charging. It does that to any of them that have that tail cap there. And they have other accessories, like this is a weapon light switch, and it just whoop, boom, comes on and off like that. And one last interesting difference in the tail switches of these, they have the same like system, but like this one, it's meant to be momentary. Like if you want it to stay on, you kind of have to like do quick on, quick off. It's like meant to be a momentary press button. With the Warrior X, it has a click. So it's meant to stay on and search for whatnot, but you can do momentary if you just kind of half push it like that, and you get a lower output and momentary. But it's a great light. I highly recommend. Really, anything that I've had from Olight, I can recommend. But go check out that charity sale. They're doing things for, a lot of people. It's kind of hard to get medical supplies. They've got the free surgical masks if you're having trouble getting them to deal with the current crisis. And when they reached out to me, they were like, hey, what hospital does your wife work at? Because they're sending masks to a bunch of hospitals. And now, if you want more fitness tips, self-defense techniques, gear reviews, as well as concepts and principles that make you hard to hurt, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications and stay home.